So here's a number that might mess with your head a little bit. The U.S. Department of Labor keeps an official database of every job category in the country. It's called ONET, and it currently lists over 1,000 different occupations. Now, if I stopped you on the street and gave you 60 seconds to name as many jobs as you could, most people top out somewhere around 20 or 30. That's the gap. There isn't a shortage of jobs out there. There's a shortage of people who know half of these jobs even exist. So today I'm pulling 7 of them straight out of the gap, real jobs that you've probably never once thought to even search for. And quick disclaimer, the pay numbers in this video come from places like Glassdoor, Indeed, and Salary.com, and they are averages and not guarantees. Averages shift, hiring shifts, and your results are going to depend on your experience, your location, and how much time you actually put in. So watching this video does not guarantee that you will make that actual salary, and it definitely doesn't guarantee you'll get the job. So treat this as a starting point, do your own research, and always confirm the current listing yourself before you apply. And if you like this type of content, please tap that like button for me. That way YouTube will share this with other job seekers out there. First up is live captioning. Companies hire people to type captions in real time during live events, webinars, Zoom calls, so people who are hard of hearing or speak a different language can follow along. And here's why this is in demand. Every company running virtual events now has an accessibility requirement to meet, and there just aren't enough people doing this work compared to how many live events happen every single day. That's why it's underrated. It doesn't show up when you search online jobs. It shows up under captioning or transcription, terms most job seekers never think to look for. And I'll go ahead and put up some of the industry pay averages up on the screen for you. And accessibility isn't some niche concern either. The World Health Organization estimates over 430 million people worldwide need some form of hearing rehabilitation. The skills you'll need here are fast, accurate typing, sharp listening, and the ability to multitask, since you're listening and typing at the same time. I'll give this one a 7.5 out of 10 on the opportunity score. The pay here is solid, but you do need to type fast and accurately to keep up. So how do you get started? Well, there's no special certification required for this one. What actually helps is running a free typing speed test online so you know where you stand, and watching a couple of live captioning examples so you know what the pace feels like before you actually apply. And real quick, if your resume feels like it's disappearing into a void every time you apply, I've been using an AI tool called AlApply that tailors your resume to the actual role instead of sending the same version everywhere. I'll go ahead and put a link below in the description and in the pinned comments if you want to learn more. And the next job, you're probably already doing this one for free every day without even knowing that it actually pays. I'm talking about a voice AI trainer or audio data collection. Companies training the voice assistants in earbuds and smart speakers need people to record short voice commands so the AI learns to understand more accents and voices. So why is this in demand? Every company shipping a voice product needs a constant stream of new voice samples, and that need never really stops as they expand into new markets and accents. It's underrated because it sounds more like a gimmick than a job, so most people just scroll right past it. And I'll put up some of the industry pay averages up on the screen so you can take a look. This isn't a small corner of tech either. 101 million Americans, that's 35% of the population, now own a smart speaker. And the skills you'll need here are a decent microphone, a quiet space, and fluency in whatever language you're recording. I'll give this one a 7 out of 10. It's genuinely accessible, but it's not going to replace a full-time income. So how do you get started? Well, no training or certification is needed here. You usually create a profile on the platform and complete a short sample task so they can see your work before they hand you real projects. And if you speak more than one language, that's a big bonus. Next up is speech data collection. In this role, you record a set number of phrases, say 60 phrases in Spanish or Japanese, and then you upload them. So why is this in demand? Well, AI companies need native speakers across dozens of languages to make their products work outside English, and that talent pool is genuinely small. It's underrated because it's basically never posted on English language job boards. It's a different search entirely. And there's a real reason for that. There are more than 7,100 living languages spoken in the world today. And most AI systems only work well in a small handful of them. And I'll go ahead and put up some of the industry averages up on the screen for you. Now, some of the skills you'll need, well, fluency in the target language and a decent recording setup. And that's pretty much the whole checklist. I'll give this one a 6.5 out of 10. It's a strong one to get into if you're multilingual, but it's less useful if you only speak English. And to get started, you don't need any fancy degree or certification. You create a profile, confirm your language fluency, sometimes through a quick recorded sample, and then you're eligible for projects as they open up. And job 4 is a totally different skill set. Less talking, more problem solving. Customer support for online document platforms, the companies people use to sign contracts digitally. You'd help customers over chat, email, and phone, and working alongside teams spread across different countries. So why is this in demand? Well, these platforms are growing fast, and support tickets scale with users. So hiring for support never really stops. It's underrated because people assume remote customer service means a call center grind. And this is a different tier entirely. Better pay and real benefits. And I'll throw up some of the average salaries on the screen for you. And openings in this field are pretty steady. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics projects about 341,000 customer support openings every year through 2034. And almost all of it just because people are moving on to other roles. And the skills you'll need are strong written communication, patience, and the ability to juggle multiple conversations at once. And most companies want at least a year or two of support experience behind you. I'll give this one a 7 out of 10. It's not glamorous, but it is stable and the pay is genuinely pretty good. So how do you get started? Well, it helps to have some documented customer service experience on your resume, even if it's from a past job. If you don't have that yet, some people build it up through a short customer service certification course. And it's worth getting familiar with common help desk software before you apply. And speaking of getting ready to apply, that's exactly where AlApply comes in. It matches you to roles that fit instead of just keyword matching job titles. It looks at your experience and surfaces roles you'd probably scroll right past otherwise. Then adjust your resume for each one automatically. And that part alone saves a ton of time if you're applying to more than one job. If you haven't checked them out yet, I'll put a link below in the description and in the pinned comment so you can learn more. And if support work isn't your thing, job 5 is for anyone who's ever been told they have a good voice, even if it was just your mom. Number 5 is voiceover artists. You record audiobooks, commercial voiceovers, animation, or video narration through freelance platforms built for voice talent. So why is it in demand? Well, every brand making video content needs a voice for it, and most don't want to pay agency rates. And it's underrated because people assume you need studio training or an agent when you don't. You can sign up for these platforms just like anybody else, and most of them don't require a fee. And I'll throw up some of the industry averages for voiceover artists up on the screen for you. And voice work is only becoming more central, not less. 55% of consumers now say voice is their primary way of interacting with AI. And the skills you need are a decent microphone, a quiet room, and honestly, just a voice people enjoy listening to. I'll give this one a 7.5 out of 10. It's got a strong ceiling if you stick with it and build your profile. So how do you get started? Well, no certification needed here and definitely no fancy agent, but a decent microphone and a short demo reel showing off your voice can go a long way. Some people even take a beginner voiceover course just to work on pacing and delivery before recording the first demo. And job 6 is a completely different animal than the others on the list. This one is for people with a great attention to detail. I'm talking about coding compliance auditing in healthcare. You'd review medical billing records to make sure insurance codes are accurate and flag billing errors. So why is it in demand? Well, healthcare billing errors cost companies real money. So accurate auditors are always needed. And it's genuinely hard to fill these roles. It's underrated because the title sounds intimidating, so people skip past it without realizing it's a well-mapped certification path, not a specialized medical degree. And I'll put up some of the average salary figures for this screen right now. And what I love about this is it has real staying power. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics projects about 14,200 openings for medical record specialists every single year. And the skills you'll need for this role are certification as a professional coder, plus 5 or more years in outpatient coding. So this one's more of a career path than a same-week opportunity. I'll give this one an 8 out of 10 for pay, but only if you're willing to put in the work to get certified first. So how do you get started? Well, this is the one job on the list that actually requires certification. You need to become a certified professional coder, sometimes called a CPC, through a recognized program like AAPC, and most companies also want several years of hands-on coding experience before they'll consider you for this specific auditing role. This is a real career path, not something you fall into overnight. And if you're putting in that kind of effort, it's worth having a tool like AlApply handle the parts that don't need to be hard. Their AI can rewrite your resume, cover letter, and even auto-apply to roles that match your experience. If you haven't tried them out yet, I'll put a link below in the description and in the pinned comments so you can learn more. And this next one is for the talkers, the people who could sell water to a fish. Talking about a sales advisor role with online real estate platforms. You'd call property managers and rental companies, building relationships over the phone and on Zoom. So why is this in demand? Well, these platforms grow by getting more property managers on their system, and that only happens through direct outreach. So sales headcount scales with company growth. And it's underrated because people hear real estate and assume you need a license. You don't. This is a sales role that happens to sit inside a real estate company. I'll throw up some of the average pay figures for you on the screen now. And sales roles like this one churn over constantly. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics projects about 142,000 openings a year in this broader sales category. And the skills you'll need for this role are inside sales experience, strong communication, and comfortable working with CRM tools like Salesforce. I'll give this one a 7 out of 10. Great pay if you're a natural talker, tough if phone sales stress you out. So how do you get started? Well, again, you don't need a real estate license for this one, but inside sales experience helps a lot. Also, getting comfortable with CRM tools like Salesforce before you apply can help your application stand out. And here's the thing, even if you land one of these 7 jobs, half the battle is getting your resume past the system before a human ever sees it. Most companies run every application through an ATS first. And if your resume isn't built for that, it gets filtered out automatically, no matter how qualified you actually are. So definitely check out my video up here, 5 Claude AI prompts that get your resume past that filter. That's the piece most people are missing. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.